so we can begin our lesson. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, first grade. So now it's time for Read Aloud, and I am so excited to keep talking to you about this amazing author, Audrey Wood. Who can let me know, what did we learn yesterday about something that is unique to Audrey Wood? Wow, Sean already has his hand up, so does Maria. I'm going to ask Sebastian, what did we learn about Audrey Wood? Can you tell me about her author style?
Her author style was colorful, and also they were both nonfiction.
Okay, so you are telling me about two of the books that you answered a question about for homework. Is that what you're talking about? Yes, okay. So what was correct in your answer is that Audrey Wood does use bright, colorful illustrations. However, I'm going to disagree on the genre. We learned that Audrey Wood uses characters to teach us a lesson. What genre uses characters, Bash?
Fiction.
Okay, so that would mean both texts were?
Fiction.
You got it. Thank you for your great answer. Kiss your brain. Today, we're going to finish reading The Red Racer. Our job today, as we finish, is to pay attention to our character, Nona. We're going to think about her traits, her feelings, and her motivation. It's been a long time since we've talked about these things, so take some time to think. What is a feeling? What is the difference between a feeling and a trait? Sebastian's thinking hard. Let's see, who can help me remember the difference between a feeling and a trait? Jadiel, what's the difference between a character feeling and a trait?
A character feeling and a trait are different because a feeling is something that you feel, and a trait is something.
Which one can change?
Which one can change is the feeling.
Yes, feelings change a lot. Do traits often change, Jadiel?
No.
No, we know that when a character's traits change, usually something that we call a life event happens to make them change. Awesome. Thank you for your answer. I'm going to ask Tyler, what's character's motivation?
What's character's motivation? Character motivation, I forgot.
That's okay. Let's see if we can have someone to remind us. Siphon, what's a character's motivation?
A character's motivation is what they feel and how they're feeling and how and what they're doing to make them feeling like that.
Okay, a little bit. So their motivation is why they do what they do. Sometimes a feeling might be what causes them to take a certain action. So you're kind of on the right page. Thank you for your answer. Today, as we finish reading Red Racer, we have two jobs. We're still paying attention to what is unique about Audrey Wood's author style. We know she uses bright, colorful illustrations. Say it with me. She uses colorful illustrations. I love that I had Jadiel and Siphon with me looking through. Who else was a superstar chanting with me? Mamadou, I can't see your mouth. I have no idea. Can you tell me, Mamadou, what does Audrey Woods use?
Audrey use bright, colorful illustrations in her
You got it, Mamadou. She uses bright, colorful illustrations. Let's pay extra special attention to the words and these bright, colorful illustrations to read the rest of this story and pay attention to Nona's feelings, traits, and motivation. When we left off yesterday, Nona had a big problem. What superstar reader remembers Nona's big problem? Let's track Austin. Eyes tracking Austin. What was her problem?
She wanted a new bike and she couldn't have a new bike because
You got it. She wanted a new bike and could not have one. What added to her problem, Fatu? What added to Nona's problem?
what added to her problem is that she kept trying to destroy her bike, but people kept on finding it.
Exactly, Fatu. Push your brain. She wanted to get rid of her old bike, but for some reason she could not destroy it. We're going to use these bright, colorful illustrations to finish this text and identify Nona's feelings, traits, and motivation. Here we go. We're going to begin just by reviewing some of the characteristics of Audrey Wood's work. She uses bright, colorful illustrations. Yesterday, we saw an example is that the brats who bullied Nona in the beginning, they were big and bright in colors like orange, yellow, and purple. The red racer that Nona really wants is big and bright red. And then the town dump was bright green and it took up the whole page. Let's begin reading the rest of the Red Racer. Just a reminder again, we're going to characterize Nona based on her feelings and actions. Here we go. Yesterday, we left off with Mr. Carp saving her bicycle. Today, Nona wheeled her soggy bike away. She couldn't get the chain back on. The seat was twisted and both tires had gone flat. Let's stop here. What did Nona say and do on these pages? Looking for a strong hand. Tyler, go ahead.
That her seat was twisted and the tires were flat.
So what is Nona doing?
So Nona's messing up her bike.
Is she messing up her bike in this moment?
No.
What is she doing?
She's riding her bike.
She's pushing it home. Yes. Let's continue. So far, Nona's words were that a giant pond monster stole her bike and took it to his cave beneath the water. Her actions are that she threw the bike in the pond. And if we go back, as she gets the bike back, look at her face. She's frowning. She's not happy about this. And her bike looks pretty gross. Look at that detailed illustration. So right now, we can describe her trait as dishonest because she was not telling the truth about a pond monster. And we can say that she is feeling upset. Here we go. On the way home, she stopped to rest at the train station. The wicked thought was there, waiting for her. Nona placed her bike on the railroad tracks. At 5 o'clock, she said, the train will squish you flat. She hurried home to tell her parents the bad news. I'm going to stop here. What do we notice about the bright, colorful illustrations on this page, Jace? Oh, Jace, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I'll be back, okay? Jael, what do you notice?
I noticed that she is smiling on her face and she going to get new red racer.
Okay. Why is Nona smiling on this page? Jacob?
Um, um, she's smiling because she wants to tell um the her parents the bad news.
Okay, what's the bad news?
The bad news is that is that a train is gonna flat her bike flat.
Is Nona still being dishonest? Yes, okay. I wonder if her traits will change. Have her feelings changed on this page? Leah, have her feelings changed? I'm sorry, Leah, I can't hear you. I'm going to go to Camille. Have her feelings changed?
Her feelings have changed.
How does Nona feel now?
She feels happy because she's going to tell her parents the bad news.
Okay, let's continue. But when she opened the door, her mother and father shouted, "Surprise! We bought everything to make your old bike look brand new," her father said. We wanted to make, I'm sorry, the page changed. We wanted to make you happy, her mother said. Bong, 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 bong. Woo, woo. The clock struck 5 and the train whistled in the distance. Nona knew she had made a terrible mistake. Let's stop here. What did Nona say and do? Maria?
Nona said, Nona said, Nona said that.
So I think it's a very, very different dynamic immediately when you're talking about
Nona.
But we still
Can I ask you a different question, Maria? How does Nona feel?
Nona feels. Nona feels confused. Nona feels shocked because she wasn't waiting for this.
Okay, let's have another scholar add on. I would say that she might feel shocked. I agree. Let's have Yair add on.
She feels surprised because her parents said it because their parents said it's a thing to make her old bicycle new, but the train was coming and then she was surprised that she didn't know that she was gonna put she didn't know that she was gonna see the stuff for her old bike.
Right, she wasn't expecting her parents to be ready to fix up the bike, and she had already put it on the train tracks to be destroyed. I think she might also feel a little worried. In the text it says, Nona knew she had made a terrible mistake. So now, the words say at 5 o'clock, the train will squash you flat. Nona's actions were that she put her bike on the train tracks to get rid of it. But when she came home, she realized she had made a mistake. I think that she is feeling surprised. And I think a trait that describes her is also sneaky. Nona raced out the door and ran as fast as she could to the train station, but she was too late. What a wicked, wicked thing, the train seemed to say as the wheels rolled by. What have I done? Nona cried. After the train passed, Nona looked up through her tears. She couldn't believe her eyes. Her bicycle was on another track. It hadn't been squashed at all. Over the weekend, everyone worked together on Nona's old bicycle. And when they finished, Nona sped off down the road on the most beautiful bicycle in the whole world. Let's stop here. How is Nona feeling? How is Nona feeling at the end? Go ahead, Umu.
Nona is feeling happy because excited because she has a brand new beautiful bike.
Well, is it brand new?
It's her old bike.
I agree, Umu. I want to look at one page in particular. What evidence do you see on this page, Umu, that supports Nona feeling happy? Think about what Audrey Wood did as an amazing author to help us know that she was happy. What do you notice?
I noticed that that Nona is smiling and also what I noticed is that she is riding her old bike, but it's new.
Okay. How can we tell that there's something different about this bike? I really want to think about Audrey Wood and what we know she uses as an author and illustrator. Let's go to Hudson. What did Audrey Wood do on this page to help us understand Nona's feelings?
Audrey Wood did on this page is that she showed Nona riding her new bike.
Okay. Did she draw it in black and white?
She drawed it in red, black, and red and yellow stripes.
Okay.
And clean tires.
Oh, okay. And Jacob, what else do you notice in this bright, colorful illustration that helps us understand Nona's feeling?
What makes me understand that she's happy is that she said that the bike is the best bike in the world.
Well, that came from the words. I'm looking for a little bit of evidence from the illustration. Last try, Sarajo, what do you see in the illustration?
I see in the illustrations is that and I see that the bullies are surprised that she has a new bike and she's putting up her hand and she's riding her new bike.
Okay. And I also noticed that there's a rainbow. A rainbow usually means someone is happy, or rainbows typically indicate good things. Now, remember, we wanted to pay attention to how Nona changed from the beginning of the story to the end. What's a trait word we could use to describe Nona at the beginning of the story? Gia, what trait word can we use to describe Nona at the beginning of the story?
Maybe she feels happy because her parents and her are making her bike red like she wanted the new bike, but she just decorated red.
Okay. But Gia, my question was about a trait at the beginning of the story. You told me about a feeling at the end of the story, okay? So I'm going to ask Benjamin, what trait word can we use to describe Nona at the beginning of the story?
What trait word we could use? We could use to describe What trait word we could use to describe Nona as the beginning? As in the beginning, is she was uh.
You're not paying attention, right?
Okay. So I'm going to ask Fatumata, what trait
What
word
do you
can
think?
we use to describe Nona at the beginning?
I would describe Nona at the beginning is disrespectful to her bike because she tried to destroy it so she can get the new one that she saw on TV.
I agree, Fatumata. Kiss your brain. And then how can we say her traits changed to the end of the story? What do you think, Jasmine? What trait word can we use to describe Nona at the end?
A trait that we can describe Nona at the end is surprise.
Is that a trait or a feeling? You gave me a feeling, and we're looking for a trait. So Fatumata said at the beginning she was disrespectful. What can we say about how she is at the end? A trait is how someone acts most of the time. So Mason, what trait word can we use to describe Nona at the end?
What trait word can we describe Nona at the end? Is we could describe Nona is excited about her new bike.
That's a feeling, Mace. We can say that if Nona was disrespectful at the beginning, that at the end she changed and now she is respectful. She worked together with her parents to make a new bike. Now, we are going to have a few minutes to work together to answer our questions. We're going to move into our breakout rooms. Get ready for number 1.
Okay, please make sure you are turned to question number 1 from your packet. Okay, question number 1 says, a character trait is a word that describes. A character trait is a word that describes. Go ahead and fill it in. Yes, Fatu.
So, who can tell me what genre this is?
Yes, Fatu.
Who can tell me what genre?
Fatu, can you hear me?
I'm gonna unmute myself.
Okay, gonna give you 10 more seconds and we're going to go over question number 1. Yes, Mohammedan.
I keep having the same question from the same read aloud question from yesterday.
It's not the same, honey. We're on Tuesday. It has different questions. It looks just like my page right now that's showing on the screen. Please look through your packet. Okay, let's go over question number 1. Your pencils are down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Arms are up. Clap once. We chose A, B, C, D. Okay, I saw most of us clap for C. The answer choice is a character trait is how a character acts most of the time. Remember, a character trait is their personality. Let's move on to question number 2. For question number 2, we are going to be looking at this illustration. I know in your packets it's in black and white, so please look at the illustration that is on the screen. Using the illustration, how does Nona feel in this picture? Provide evidence from the text in your answer. Go ahead. Make sure you start with that sentence starter, Nona feels. Shout out to Austin for working hard. Shout out to Jace for working hard. Musa, I need you sitting with your packet out. Yes, Fatu.
I can't find the packet.
It's the same packet from this morning that you use for math. You just need to flip to read aloud. Sebastian, how does Nona feel in this picture?
Nona feels happy because she is on the bike and she also sees a rainbow.
Okay, so the illustration is giving us these details that Nona is feeling happy. We see a rainbow shining bright. What else do we notice in the illustration that helps us understand how Nona feels? Let's see. Zalia, how does Nona feel?
Nona feels happy
How do you know?
because I see a rainbow and I see a smile.
Yeah, there we go. Shout out to you for finding those details. Just like Sebastian said, there's a rainbow in the background. We can know it's bright, it's exciting, it's happy, and we see Nona smiling. Make sure you include your evidence in your answer. And we're going to move on to question number 3. All right, for question number 3, it says, why did Audrey Wood, remember that's our author, why did Audrey Wood use dark illustrations when the train was coming? Why did Audrey Wood use dark illustrations when the train was coming? Make sure you're including your draft on top of your question. As you guys continue with question number 3, I'm going to start letting everyone else back into the room. Remember, we're moving from bright illustrations to dark illustrations. Why do you think this was happening? If you finish with question number 3, move on to question number 4 as we wait for everyone to join us. Shout out to Jadiel and Ethan for continuing their work. Shout out to Sean for continuing his work. Okay, everyone's back.
Alrighty. Today in Read Aloud, we finished reading The Red Racer, and we thought about Nona's traits, feelings, and motivation. We used the bright, colorful illustrations by Audrey Wood to prove these things. Then we thought about how Nona's traits changed from the beginning of the story to the end. Tomorrow, we actually have one more day of looking at the Red Racer, and I will really be counting on scholars to be paying attention to every part of our lesson. My Read Aloud star today is Fatumata. And I hope that I can pick 2 stars tomorrow. We're gonna move into phonics. So take a few seconds, put your phonics ears on. Ms. Khan, could we stop this recording and then